Alright, forget every other tips video out there. Seriously, they show one piece of the puzzle, a flashy retake, a new weapon, but they never show the system. They don't give the blueprint for actually winning. After hitting Unreal Rank every single season and spending thousands of hours breaking down what separates the good players from the dominant ones, I've built that blueprint. This isn't just another tips video, this is a guide. We are going to be breaking down the skills of top players from the ground up, starting with the very foundation that 99% of players get wrong. Layer by layer, we'll deconstruct what makes a player who can dominate every phase of the game. By the end of this, the roadmap to becoming a top-tier player will be clear. We're covering it all. The optimal settings pros use for every advantage, the smartest way to land and loot, how to master building and editing until it's a second nature, and how to outthink and outplay opponents in the sweatiest final circles. This is the only guide needed. Let's get into it. Before a pro ever steps on the battle bus, the game is already won or lost in the settings menu. This isn't the flashy part, but it is very important. Getting this wrong is like trying to build a skyscraper on sand. First up, video settings. For pros, the goal is simple. Maximize frames per second, or FPS, and maximize clarity. Every pro player prioritizes performance over pretty visuals. Look at any pro settings, and the rendering mode is almost always set to performance mode. Next, audio. This will be your second set of eyes. Notice the visual sound effects setting is always on. Almost every single pro uses this because it gives them a visual cue on their screen for footsteps, chests, and gunfire. Some other important sound settings is sound quality. You want that on high so you can have the highest sound quality. 3D headphones so you can hear all around you, and you want to turn off background audio so you don't get distracted. Now for the most personal part, keybinds or controller settings. There's no single best setup, but there is one core principle: efficiency. For keyboard, a key thing is using your side buttons on your mouse. So many pro players use that, and I also use that myself. Putting it for stairs, roofs, or even like pickaxes and shotguns is very useful. Another big thing is scroll wheel reset. If you don't know what that is, that means you can use your scroll wheel on your mouse to automatically reset builds. You do this by putting your building edit as scroll wheel and your reset edit as scroll wheel. For controller, it's mainly just preference, but there are some key things. First thing I want to talk about is claw. As you can see in this image I found on the internet, this guy's hands is in a claw grip. Using claw helps you edit faster and press more buttons quicker on controller. Another key thing is separating your edit bind from your pulling out your builds bind. I recommend using a button that you can click very fast. Finally, the game settings. This is mostly personal preference except for one big thing: edit on release. Edit on release is so good, and here's a clip from Martos swapping to edit on release.
Where is it? This one, and then on edit, on. So I'm just gonna sit in creative for a little bit and then play some one ones and then play some ranked. Wait a minute. Oh my. He left.
As you can see, by swapping to edit on release, you can become very good. Next, we're going to look at the importance of going back into replays. In this clip here, the famous streamer Tfue sees something suspicious, and he goes back into replays to figure out what happened.
No grappler. Bro, look at my stream and tell me this isn't the most fucked shit you've ever seen. I want you to come to my stream right now and watch how I died.
So dumb. These guys are so dumb.
get fucking legitimately teleported into the storm.
As we can see, the guy who killed Tifu was using an exploit. If he didn't go back into replays, he wouldn't have found that out. Now I'm going to talk about what a hot drop is. So here is the Chapter 6 Season 3 map. Let's say the boss went from Outlaw Oasis to Shining Span. A hot drop would be Outlaw Oasis, Shiny Shafts, Crime City, and maybe Canyon Crossing and Sugar Zone. Maybe. But pretty much this entire area is a hot drop, because that's where the bus starts. So if you want to get lots of kills, I recommend landing in this area. But if you want to survive and play for the win and placement, I recommend going anywhere else on the map. Here's a tip when you're farming. You want to get the tree 1 HP so it doesn't break and people can see. Another thing is when you're looting and you're going house to house, you want to farm on the way. You want to pick up guns and you want to keep farming on the way. So you can get your mats up fast. Next, I'm going to show you guys building. In game, you can build things like a surge tower. I'm going to teach you how to build a surge tower. Okay, when you build a surge tower, you normally want to build it out of a material like brick. So what you want to do is you kind of want to make 4 walls around yourself, put a cone, and edit it. And keep going up. And you want to go up around like 4 to 5 layers. Once you get to the top, you place a floor, and you want to place cones all around you. After the cones, you want to place walls all around, just like this. And now you want to edit the cones like this. And now you have a surge tower. And to make it even better, let's say there's people fighting over there, or another surge tower that you want to look at. You can build ramps like this. Scout through. And when you start editing a ramp, you can see through the ramp. This is very helpful, and this is what the pros do. And you can also just put cones normally to look through. And yeah. Next, I'm going to show you how to make a 2x1x2 base. This is good for end games and middle games in tournaments. When you build this 2x1x2, you usually want to either use brick or metal. I'm going to be using metal. So you go like this, you make like kind of like 2 boxes. And then you go up and make 2 boxes above you. And then you pretty much want to put cones everywhere. And then you can go up and go like this. And now you can just look through your cones, look for rotating people, and you can go down and shoot people from here. Here you have every single angle, and you can have the high ground by going up here. And this is very, very solid for minimal mats. The next thing I'm going to show you is something for creative, but you might use it in Battle Royale in some scenarios. This is the new 90s, and you can go up very fast, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So pretty much what you want to do is you want to place a ramp, go up, or sprint, and you want to place a floor and another ramp. Sprint, floor ramp, sprint, floor ramp, like that. And you will go up very high. The next thing I'm going to show you is this new kind of surge tower. You usually want to make it out of brick or metal. I'm going to use brick. So what you want to do is you want to just do your normal surge tower thing. You want to go up around like 3 or 4. And once you get up, you usually want to look at a direction where there's people going into zone. And you want to look behind you and build some walls like this. And then you want to build a stair out. And then a stair there, a stair there. And go up like that. And then just build like around. Like this. And then you can edit this stair whenever you want to just boom them. And you can also place floors underneath. And if they spray it, you can build a floor, reset, and just hold. Now I want to show you some piece control. Let's just say you're boxed up and there is someone right here. A good way to piece control them is to bait them into going this way. So they see you open up the edit, they're gonna try to go this way. What you wanna do is you wanna place a wall, edit a window like that, place a cone, and like that. And they're gonna run into it just like that. And then just pump them, reset. Like that. Another good thing to do when they're just sitting at your wall, instead of trying to like bait them, you can just edit on them and just cover them up in a ramp like that. And then you can do like peanut butter like that, or like that. Another thing to do when they're outside your box, just sitting there, is instead of just going out or trying to bait them, you can go up, place 2 cones, or place a cone and a floor, edit them, place a ramp, edit the ramp and just 200 pump them, and then reset. And you could go down and just push them. Now let's say you're pushing a box. Instead of just standing there like in the open trying to like pickaxe the wall, what you want to do is stand diagonal from their box, build your own box so you don't get third partied from behind, edit a peanut butter, build another box, spray the top, and get it, bang. And then they're going to try go out, and you can do that same window thing. We'll box them 2 and 3. Now, if they do go up, what you can do is go up like this, go up like this, take the wall. Bang. Now, a good counter to that is to go out the back and make another box so you're in a 2x1 and not in a 1x1. Then you re-counter. Take. Go from there. Like that. Now let's say you're in a build fight, right? Let's just say, oh, not like that. Let's just say you're up, right? Say they are coming up like right here. Okay, let's say they're doing like a triple edit. Up to you, right? And you're standing here, you see them, you want to block them off so they don't go that way, but you see them trying to edit this, trying to go up like this. And what they're going to try to do, they're going to come up and try to piece control you from here. So to not let that happen, you block them first. You want to take control of this square. You want this to be your box. So when they come up, they're gonna jump up and you're just gonna have them full box. They're gonna try to run back. You could either take a shot, come here and go with your wall and take another shot. Now they are gonna definitely try to reset, and if they are quick enough and they reset before you can shoot them, they are going to be down here. They just reset. They're gonna try to rebox probably over here, and then try to do like a retake. So what you're gonna try to do, you see them rebox. You wanna go from the side, pickaxe the wall once, go back up, and try to predict where they go. Now you have to like read what they're doing. They might go down. You could try to pre-box them. Or if they go, let's just say they're in here. They can't go down because you already have this boxed up. And if they go this way, oh, you're up there. Make sure you build walls so they can't block it. And you get them there. If they go this way, it's blocked off, and you can easily just edit from here. Bang. And same with over here. And just shoot them. But if you are in this position, let's say they're standing like right on top of you. First of all, this is yours here. You can edit them down and shoot them there. But let's say they're smart, right? And they retake your cone. What you want to do is you want to try to spray from inside your box, kind of tarp. And try to go up. Now you've learned mechanics, but you also need to have good aim. So you could set up aim things like that. Like that. Let's say you're standing here, right? You could practice your aim. Tap fire. Like that. Or you could go into a map that has places where you can practice your aim. Instead of just building your own, you could go into a map. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers so I can make maps and post it for you guys and help you guys. So if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe, and I can make my own maps. And you could practice your aim, practice mechanics, practice everything. Now if you go into your settings, and I have my targeting sensitivity on 55%. I find this very good for tracking or flicking. It's fast, but not too fast where it's out of control. And on controller, I use an aim assist of 10 and 12. So if I grab my controller here, and still go fast, but it's like the perfect speed. So that's the best ADS sense, and I recommend using it. Or something around there. Next thing we're gonna learn is retakes. So a good retake, if someone's like behind you, you can do a triplet it, block your top with a cone, edit it like that. Then you cover like that, and then go up. Put 2 ramps to try to block. Go there. Ramps, and then you can just finish. Yeah, that's if they are behind you or on top of you. Now if they are to your side, what I like to do is block my side like that, put 2 ramps to block them, And yeah. Let's say you're doing a 1v1, right? Start the 1v1, you're going up, you want to start sprinting, right? Then you want to do this, the 90s from before. You want to go there, you want to grab your wall, like that. Place a floor and a stair, it's kind of hard to do in slow motion, but you go up. You want to place a ramp and another ramp right there to try to block them off. And then place a floor, stair, like that. And you have height on them, and you can pretty much just do whatever you want.
The end game is a different beast entirely. The circle is tiny and moving. 20 players are crammed into a small space, and one mistake means it's over. This is where game sense and strategy are tested more than any raw mechanic. The most important skill here is awareness. Pros constantly process information. Where's the zone pulling? Where are the other players? What's the material count? Their eyes are darting between the mini-map, the storm, and the chaos around them. This requires tunneling or tarping to move safely. This is where a player creates a one-by-one tunnel of builds, walls to the front and sides, a floor above them as they run. It eats a lot of mats, but it's the safest way to cross open ground. Knowing when to rotate is just as important as knowing how. Don't rotate late. Waiting until the storm is on your back means running with a dozen other players, making you an easy target for those already in the zone. A better play is to rotate early, on the dead side of the circle, the part of the zone furthest from where most players are likely coming from. It'll be less congested once a spot is secured. It's about being a predator, not prey. Look for impact frags, quick, low-risk eliminations that get loot and mats. A player rotating late in the open is a perfect target. Getting a few tags on them can potentially recharge shields if Siphon is active. In the final moving zones, mobility is king. They allow for quick, long-distance rotations without burning through all materials. With mobility, a player can wait until the last second, see where everyone else goes, and then take the path of least resistance. Resource management is paramount. Every build piece matters. Be efficient. If a hill or a building can be used as one side of the tunnel, do it. Every material saved is one that can be used in the final 1v1. When it's down to the last few players, try to avoid getting stuck in a 50-50. Let other players fight. While they're distracted, position can be improved or a third-party opportunity can be found. Attacking two players who are already fighting gives a massive advantage since they're likely weak and focus on each other. The final 1v1 is a test of everything. Watch how they stay calm and keep the high ground. They use piece control. They're smart with their peaks. Don't get desperate. Often, the winner is the one who forces the other to make the first mistake. And if the storm is closing, they position themselves so it forces the opponent to move right into their crosshairs. We've covered a massive amount of info, but knowledge without practice is useless. The blueprint is there. Now it's time to build the house. This is about how pros practice effectively and turn these concepts into real skill. The biggest mistake players make is just grinding games, hoping to get better by just playing. That's super inefficient. What's needed is deliberate practice, identifying weaknesses and focusing time on fixing them. Here's how pros structure their sessions for max improvement. They break them into 3 parts: warm-up, deliberate practice, and real game application. The warm-up is 15 to 20 minutes to get the hands moving and the brain switched on. It starts with an aim trainer, then 10 minutes in a free build map practicing core builds, boxes, 90s, protected ramps. It finishes with a few minutes in an edit course. The goal isn't perfection. It's just waking up the muscle memory. Next, deliberate practice. This is the most important part. This is where weaknesses are attacked. Losing a lot of box fights means playing 20 minutes of 1v1 realistics. Struggling with piece control means loading up a mechanics map and running the piece control drills over and over. Panicking in the end game means playing Zone Wars maps to simulate that high-pressure environment. Pros are honest about what they're bad at and work on it. Finally, real game application. Now it's time for Battle Royale. But it's not just about playing to win. It's about applying the skill that was just practiced. If the focus was piece control, the conscious goal is to piece control one opponent in every fight. If the work was on right-hand peaks, actively looking for chances to use them is key. This is how the gap between creative skill and in-game performance is bridged. Another powerful tool is VOD reviewing, recording and watching gameplay, especially deaths. It can be painful, but it's incredibly useful. Players will notice mistakes in their VODs that they were totally unaware of in the heat of the moment, and never stop learning. Fortnite is always changing. Watch pro players and streamers. But don't just watch for fun. Analyze what they're doing. Why did they rotate that way? Why did they take that fight? They're playing at the highest level, and there's always something to learn. Improvement isn't a straight line. There will be good days and bad days. Plateaus will happen. That's normal. Staying consistent and trusting the process will yield results. That's it. That's the entire blueprint, from settings to the final circle. We've covered smart landings, building and editing, the art of the fight, advanced piece control, and the strategies for build mode. The knowledge is there. The guide has been given. But this is where my analysis ends and the real work begins. Improvement comes from practice, from taking these ideas, applying them, failing, and learning from that failure. This video is the map, but the path must be walked. If this guide was helpful, a like and subscribe would be a huge favor so future content isn't missed. And if I've earned it, please sub. Now, I want to hear what everyone thinks. Comment below with the single biggest concept that stood out. I read all the comments, and I'm genuinely curious to see what clicks. Thank you for time. Now it's time to see smart practice and domination.